So I've just bought a cheap Mercedes GLC 63 AMG from BCA in Birmingham, and it does have a little problem. Let's go pick it up and see what it's like. Back in 2015, Mercedes-Benz stupidly or cleverly come up with the idea of putting a V8 engine in a family crossover SUV and named it the GLC 63 AMG. The 4-litre twin-turbocharged AMG V8 power plant under the bonnet in the S variant produces over 500 brake horsepower. I've never had one myself before, and it's a car that I've always wanted to get my hands on, and the example that we've won at BCA today is a massive spec one. Now, there is straight away a few issues listed with this car, and they are an expensive thing to repair when they go wrong. So I've just got to hope that the problems that this one has aren't too big. So, I mean, first impressions are really good. Actually, as I walked up to it, the guy said to me, are you driving this home? I was like, yeah. He said, are you sure? I was like, yeah. He goes, mate, it's an absolute beast. So I was like, okay. I had a little bit of a panic moment, but he did also mention that it's apparently got 0 miles in the tank, so we desperately need fuel. Not ideal, but we'll worry about that shortly. First things I'm sort of mainly concerned about is, one, how does it drive? And then two, we can begin to worry about the fuel situation. So this car is actually on the listing. It says it's got a workshop light on the dash, which could be nothing, could be something silly. Might only just need a service, I don't know. Could be more than that though, of course, as we know, as we see it on the channel all the time. With this car, it's listed, as I mentioned, as a grade 4, like 1 being the best, 5 being the worst, so it's really down the low end of the scale. But I've kind of bought it because it's a premium plus. It's black, obviously with the bucket seats and the pan roof. I just think it looks so cool. It's a car that I've always wanted to get my hands on, and they're a hard car to buy below market value. We've got it cheap as well. We'll talk about the price shortly. I'm kind of just wandering around it, soaking it all in. Mileage, by the way, is 85,000 miles. I say that as I sort of put my head in the door here just to see what the wear's like on the bolster there and the driver's seat, but it's all really, really good. So obviously it's a later car, 20 plate or 70 plate car, so it's a facelift, so it's got the newer steering wheel and a few other bits as well. So love that. I didn't mention this GLC 63S. The S is a big thing in the Mercedes world. Just checking in the boots because I noticed in the front it's got no floor mats. But as ever with BCA, they put the floor mats in the boot, and they are genuine AMG floor mats. Really, really nice to see them. They look like they're in great condition as well. In fact, that's the passenger one. Let's see the driver's one. Yes, that is nice. For an 85,000 mile floor mat, that is looking really, really good. So bodywork wise, in fact, it's still got the blue film. That's nice to see. Still got the blue film there, look at that. Bodywork wise, I mean, I can go through all the little, they give loads of little bullet points on the listing to show you exactly where all the little bits of damage are. Obviously at the minute it's dusty, it's a bit dirty, so you can't see it too clearly. But my first impressions are like the overall look of the car. It looks really good. And I say that like as if I'm shocked. But naturally, like with the used car trade in general, everything you buy is a risk, right? And when you're buying in the trade, it is entirely on you. You see it a lot on the channel where we go to buy a car and it's on us. We sign a document to say, yep, happy to take it, trade sale, whatever's wrong with it's my problem. And then shortly after that, it goes wrong. On the flip side of that, it can go the complete opposite direction where you buy a car, there's nothing wrong with it, it's better than you expected, you get it at the right money, and there's a big profit the other side. The retail value of this car today is £40,000 with the mileage, with the spec that it's currently got. So it's a valuable car. I did just look in the history, and I say the history, in the glove box, sorry. Let's just bring that seat back a little bit. What a cool car, by the way. Look at this car. The pan roof, the seats, these seats, I say it all the time with any AMG, these seats are just such a big feature in these cars. They don't look right, they don't look normal, they don't look like road seats. They look like classy track seats. And that is one thing, and again I say it all the time, Mercedes do such a good job of their interiors. Like, it is nice that this car is a facelift. It's got the newer LED display there as well, wider screen, just a few little touches, but the steering wheel in particular is a really, really nice feature in the cockpit of this car. So visually, externally looks unreal. Internally looks unreal, very modern, very, I suppose it is quite a sort of not a new car, but a newish car. Even the wheels, they're like BBS style. I love these wheels. I know, you know, they're just a typical AMG set of wheels, but I love them. It looks like it's on snow tyres, which I think is a bit of a plus for this type of car. The tread all looks really, really good as well. So I'm happy with that. But so far, so good. Floor mats all good. Fuel not so good. It's got a light on the dash there. 12-volt battery. So maybe we've got a low battery from where it's been sat around. But what I was about to say was, so when I picked it up, the way it works is you walk into reception, you tell them you're here to collect your car, you book a slot, and they then take you around to this member of staff who's just stood here. He then takes you to the car and hands you the key, and you sign to say you've received the key, the paperwork, and so on. I signed that, but I noticed straight away that there's no paperwork, and on the listing, this is the fault of the listing, it says that there is 7 service stamps and a V5. Now, he's straight up noticed as well. He said, "Did you just have a V5 on the listing?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Right, just pop back into reception, they'll sort it out for you." So I did do that, and I now have a V5. I won't show the front of it, but we do have a V5, and they've handed me the service history. Now, on the listing, it says 7 services, 0 main dealer. And on this car, so they've just handed me the paperwork. I've opened it up. Check this out. It's a Mercedes-Benz printout. Now, admittedly, I could have just done this before. I could have gone online and looked myself, but it's not the end of the world. You know, some people prefer to go to their specialist, like me, myself. I use Will at VRS in Northampton. So that's my preference, and some people have that as a preference as well. With this car, it looks like the 7 services that it's got, you know what, I'm wrong. I'm actually wrong. I thought they were main dealer services. They're not main dealer services. It is the exact same scenario as I just mentioned. They're choosing to use their own mechanic to do the servicing. This car, by the way, has had 2 total keepers from new, so 1 former keeper, which is unreal. It's all there, and it's all very nice. It's all nice and neat, organised, and it's got a whole load of history, which it does actually say that on the ad. And it's very, very nice to see. The most recent one being, I did just have that to hand, August 2025, done at 78,372 miles, and that was service A. The next service is due in August 2026 at 90,000 miles, whichever comes sooner. Additionally to something else I just found in this car, I just opened up the glove box. I thought I'd have a little nosy and see what's going on in there. And there's actually a sales invoice for a previous owner. They're actually a company in Huddersfield. It looks like they maybe in the hair industry. Hair. 28th of July 2024. They bought it for £45,000. So 2 years ago, 45 grand. It hasn't depreciated much at all in that time, and it done just shy of 70,000 miles at that point. Got a few old MOTs in there as well. So that's all really, really good. Spec is of course something that's really drawn me to this car. Don't think I've got a spec list to hand, but I might have some spec details. I'll tell you what we'll do. Before we talk about spec, let's pull it out into the space and have a better look around it. I want to get it out of here, and you know, these lot are busy as well. So let's pull it out of BCA. Maybe there might even be a space in the corner of the car park over there, so we're out of everyone's way. I want to have a better look around it. We'll talk about the spec, a bit more about the history. We need to talk about money, and we need to make sure it's all good. So let's start it up now. In fact, before we start it up, let me quickly look under the bonnet. Maxon design kit looks good. It's even on the side, just below the side steps as well. Let's have a quick look under the bonnet, because we do not want to see any oil leaks, because that would be a disaster. Any oil leaks whatsoever. 4 litre V8, what an engine. Bi-turbo as well, of course. Over 500 brake horsepower. It's ridiculous. It's got the handcrafted stamp on the top there as well. Lucas Schimmer, Mercedes AMG Germany. They put that engine in a lot of cars now, don't they? Aston Martins, a few different Aston Martins. DBX, that'd be a good car to get our hands on. That'd make a great BCA video. Oh, it's got keyless entry as well. It's just locked itself. Excellent. So under the bonnet, all looks good. Let's start it up. Then we can put it into some space, get some more shots of it. Sounds unreal, doesn't it? Yeah. Traffic. Let me pause the video there a sec. I've just started the car for the first time ever, and there is a mystery light on the dash that says traffic sign assist inoperative. Now this could just be a setting inside of the car somewhere, or it could be a genuine fault, which, as I mentioned earlier, AMG tax can be expensive. Now if you cast your mind back to the BCA listing, it does say workshop light on the report, which could have been that. On the plus side, it has just switched itself off, so it could definitely just be nothing. I don't know, let's just continue on and we'll work it out later. I've just got to hope that it doesn't affect my drive home. These steering wheels, what a nice feature. Yeah, fuel is an immediate problem. Let's just put it out and continue from there, yeah? So I pulled it out into an open space, still inside the auction car park. Straight away noticed a couple of problems. So I have noticed some problems. So in the listing, in fact, let's not talk about the listing first. In the car vertical check, it states that it's had some damage previously. So as ever, big thanks to Car Vertical for sponsoring this video. I will link them below. When you next buy a used car, do a car vertical check, use my code CCD to get 20% off. What you're looking for when you're doing a car vertical check is all green ticks. So no finance outstanding in it, it's got a green tick next to that. Mileage is all good, which is obviously really, really important. In any car, you can see it's got all the history, but it's good to just do a mileage check with Car Vertical. With this car, it is all good. Emissions, high, it's got a flag there. You expect that with a car of this type. It's got V8 under the bonnet. Just letting you know that there's a bit of a high emissions rate in there. Damage. It says they've found 2 records on damage. Now, as I've pulled the car out, I've got out and I've noticed the front bumper definitely looks like it's had paint, right? We know it's had 2 owners. Well, during the time that the first owner had this car, in 2022, it says it had some damage on this side and then on the rear boot. Now, it's not categorised, so it's not the end of the world. Do a check on any other platform, it won't show you this. So with Car Vertical, they're showing you the real nitty gritty details, which is really good. It's not there to put you off the car, it's just there to let you know this car's had some kind of paint. Now, what's really weird is you can see the plastic film on the boot. I say weird, it's positive, it's a good sign, right? So we would assume, unless they've replaced it with brand new ones and put them, I don't know, but you'd assume that based on that film's been on there from factory. Could be wrong to assume that, of course, but it sort of states that there's perhaps been paint on the rear bumper in 2022. We've not got to the other one yet. To me, I would say the bumper's perhaps been painted, right? I don't know, I reckon not. It was 4 years ago, so I'm not too concerned about that at all. In May 2026, when the second owner had this car, so this year, apparently there's been some kind of other damage. And you can see Car Vertical's highlighted the front and the left side, which explains why I feel like that front bumper's been repaired. In fact, I'm going to put the bonnet up again shortly. This side has, in fact, you can see there, it's a little bit pitted on that wing. So I think it could do with a polish. Now, when the car's had paint, you want to then look inside all the door shuts. Maybe a little bit of overspray, you get that. You can sort of hear it's a bit dusty, do you know what I mean? You can hear the dust in there. A good body shop will just polish that off after they've done all the body work and make sure that it's all nice and smooth. We can get that done, it's not a problem. That there is bird poo, so I'm not going to run my hand over that. Although it could bring me good luck, but I don't need any more good luck. I'm a lucky chap. Let's look under the bonnet now. This estimated repair cost, by the way, was £15,000 to £16,000. I wonder, so if we go back to the BCA listing, well, who was the vendor? It just says it was in the sports and performance section, SPE. Who is SPE? The story could be that they've, had a bit of damage on the car for whatever reason, had it repaired, obviously not categorised, not the end of the world, but then at that point they thought, we're going to sell this car. So it's not a problem, it's just that you've got to try and work out the stories yourself when you're buying these cars. Again, going back to the risk as a used car dealer, like your end goal is always, I say it all the time, your end goal is make a profit and have a happy customer at the end. This car, there will be a happy customer at the end, and there will be a decent profit providing it drives all right. But it's the bit in the middle making sure it's all right. Now, when we popped the bonnet, we've done it over there, I was more focused on oil leaks, of course. Plus sign, no oil leaks, right? But now when you look up close, see all this white powder? That there is all polish. Again, from when the body shop have painted the car and polished it. Again, normal, right? It's more on that side than it is on this side. So maybe they've spent more time polishing that bonnet. To be fair, if they've painted that bonnet, there's no way if they've painted that bonnet, they've done a great job of it. So you're then looking out for sort of just any telltale signs that things have been taken apart, like bolts that have been tampered with, anything. And I'm going to be honest, doesn't look like there's any bolts or anything that's been tampered with. So I'm going to assume this is just a car that for whatever reason has had paint. The reason it's had paint, I don't know. BCA put their own number plates on it, on the car, which I don't particularly like. I don't particularly like these surrounds either, these holders. I don't know if they're the correct ones for the car. I'm going to assume not. Another little bit of damage that they highlighted in the listing, in fact, if we wander around here, little nick out of the tyre there, and a curved wheel. All the wheels got marks on them, so we can get them done, not a problem. This trim here, I just had a look on eBay, so you can see it's got a bit of damage there. Again, they've highlighted that, credit to BCA, they've pointed that out, does need a new trim. It's a little bit damaged there. I've looked on eBay, typed in Mercedes GLC wheel arch trim, they're about 50 quid, but that's a non-AMG one. Of course, there's going to be AMG tax when you eventually find an AMG one. Just had a really quick look. That tyre, these winter tyres, I would recommend with any four-wheel drive car. We've seen it again on the channel, like in previous times, where you put odd tyres on a car, on a four-wheel drive car, and it puts the diff under wear. So the recommendation from the manufacturer and anyone who's got half a head on them is put the same tyres back on. So all four corners have got the same tyres. So what I would look to do, ideally, is either replace the fronts with two identical tyres as the rears, or just buy a part worn identical tyre for that front left corner. Jerome, can you order a rear wheel arch liner for this? It's an AMG, so it's obviously a little bit wider. I say wheel arch liner, sorry, wheel arch trim. And one of these tyres is a Conti Winter Sport tyre, and the tyre size is 265 40/21, and it says WXL there. I preferably want a part worn so it matches the same as the other four, if that's possible. That would be the ideal scenario for two reasons. One, it'll be perfectly matching to the other three tyres, and two, it'll be cheap, or cheaper. They're a big wheel. I think they're, what are they, 265 40/21s. So back to the car vertical check. I'm highlighting this because when you do a car vertical check on the next car that you buy and you see damage on the car, it's making you look harder. You saw me just look under the bonnet of this car, and I didn't even look at the wing. I was more focused, as I mentioned, on the oil leaks around the engine, which are good. I overlooked this situation, but when I'd done a car vertical check, I then got back into the car, got the bonnet back up again, and I've had a look, I can see it's been polished. Not a problem, not a problem, but it's good to know. It wouldn't have even put me off buying this car. And if I knew this when I was bidding on this car, it wouldn't have put me off. But I think what you can appreciate when you're watching, not just this video, but all of the videos that we upload, a lot of people say to me, Cav, you know, I love the transparency in your videos. I love how you're like, this is the car, this is the problem, or this is, I sold this car and I had this issue. It's bloody hard work. And I just had a chat with Will at VRS on the way up here, and we're buying cars all the time that are, you know, interesting cars that have issues, because cars of a certain age, every age, have their own issues. They've been on the road for a certain amount of miles, you know, they go wrong. Ordering parts is an absolute pain because they take forever to arrive. And even sometimes getting to the bottom of problems is also a bit of a pain. So we find ourselves buying cars, they sit around for ages, and eventually we get there, always. And the whole time you've got money tied up in that car. It's just sat there, parked up. You can't earn no money out of it. It's a lot of pressure, not just for me, for every used car dealer. Used cars, they are used items, and understandably, used items come with their problems. The end goal, as I always say, is you want to get it right, so you've got a happy customer at the end of the journey. When you're buying these cars, you don't actually know, because you've not lived your life in this car. You don't know the whole story behind this car, but you don't actually know where it's been, who's driven it, how it's been driven, who's looked after it, and so on. So with things like Car Vertical, they're tools that help you understand what kind of a, to an extent, what kind of a background a car has had. By the way, as mentioned, Car Vertical, link then below, code CCD to get 20% off. So back to the BCA listing, and this is the bit where we talk about money, because you'll see straight away, so here's the car, you can see why I've been drawn to that car. Like, look how good that car looks in images. Looks so good. Camera might be having a bit of a drama focusing there, but if I flick through there now, look at that. It's just so nice. So spec, everything about it, unreal. What I done with this car is it books cap clean in the trade at £35,700, right? The retail value, as I mentioned earlier, just there, £40,250. Now, I put in a bid of £35,000 on the hammer. It's a proxy bid, and it does all the bidding for you, and it will just naturally bid up. And if you're the highest bidder, then you win the car. I put that bid in, forgot about it. I do it a lot with certain cars on various auctions. The next day I come in, and I noticed that we'd won the car for a price of £32,200. So £3,500 behind trade book value, which is cheap, mega cheap. On top of that, you've got fees, about £1,000, so it owes us £33,200. Right now, we've then got to get it back, put some fuel in it, and so on. It's a cheap car. The most important thing, I think, when you're buying anything used, whether it's a car, whatever, is getting it for the right money. If you buy a house and it's £1 million house and it needs 200 grand's worth of work and you pay 850 grand for it, well, you've messed up. But if you buy that house for 750 grand, we've got a £50,000 margin in it, right? It's very, very simple. Trying to find the right base cars is difficult as well, but I think with this car, we've got a great base car. Now, the solution to the bodywork on this car is we're going to get it straight to our body shop and get them to have a good look over it, make sure it's all good. We're also going to get it polished. Bear in mind, we've got money in, there's a margin there to get this car prepped. We're good money-wise. Again, most important thing. Bodywork, get it polished, but above everything, we need to make sure it drives all right, because if it's mechanically not sound, then we have a major problem, and it ain't worth spending any money on any bodywork because we need to work on getting that engine repaired. Now, we've driven it from there to here. So far, it seems good. We do need a bit of fuel, so I think what we're going to do is prioritise, get it started, get it down the road, stick some fuel in it, and see what it drives like. So, start engine. It's funny. It's a big car, right? Sounds so good. It is a big car. But parked next to that Defender, it ain't that big. Like, that is a very big car. I mean, that's what I like about these cars, is they're a good purpose car. You know, they suit a lot of purposes, and these seats are just unreal. They're a sports car. They're a sports car, whereas that is far from a sports car. Like, don't get me wrong, it's quite, I think nippy is the word, nippy, but it ain't fast. Whereas this thing here, pretty sure the AMG S is 40 horsepower more than a normal AMG, so it's going to be a quick car. But unfortunately, we won't be able to feel the power just yet because we have no fuel. And by the way, luckily, there is a fuel station 3 minutes away. You can straight away just hear that V8 purr. It sounds so nice, so nice. It's driving straight. One thing we haven't touched on is, like, this is buying a cheap, broken GLC 63 AMG from BCA in Birmingham. By the way, it's not really Birmingham, is it? We do this all the time. It's kind of near Birmingham. Like, if you look at the map, you need to zoom out a little bit. Like, Birmingham's not too far away from us. Probably nearer to Leicester than we are Birmingham. But the reason why it's broken is because, thought I felt a little knock there. No, it wasn't. It was a bump. It's because of the workshop light, which I've not seen yet. Like, what workshop light is on the dash? So there is a mistake on the advert. It says it's got a workshop light on the dash, but I can't see no workshop light on the dash. I was expecting that we'd have an issue, but so far we haven't. Oh, but the traction control just kicked in there. Why did it just suddenly kick in? I reckon we've got a problem. Why would the traction control just suddenly kick in? Traffic sign assist inoperative. I reckon I've discovered the problem. So a light has now come on the dash and it says traffic sign assist inoperative, which would make me feel like the potential issue is related to the fact the front bumper has been painted. And let's get some fuel first, and we'll work it out in a sec. Petrol station is just there. This is such a good looking car. Like, I was just thinking, why do we do this? Like, a lot of car dealers must have that in there. Why do we do this? Because sometimes it does go to plan. Sometimes it does go to plan, it is all good, but other times it doesn't. Today's kind of, is it in the middle? I don't think it's in that. I think it's all going well. It's all going well until that light came on. Again, it could be something small, it could be nothing, right? There we go. Traffic sign assist inoperative. But with these cars, as I was saying earlier, is finding parts for them is a bit of a problem. And for the time that you're finding these parts, the cars sit around. And I reckon they've repaired this car after doing whatever they've done to it. and they needed a part and they couldn't find that part, and it affects the way it drives, which we're about to test. And instead of finding that part eventually, what they decided to do was just send it to auction or part exchange it. They might have part exchanged it. So we're in sport mode now. I want to get it specifically in manual because I want to put my foot down, just not on the most ideal road to put my foot down. Let's just have a little tiny feel. On the plus side, the engine sounds sweet, so we've got a good engine. I think they're pretty good engines. I say pretty good, they're very good engines. As far as I know, I've not heard of any horrific bottom end failure stories or anything like that with these engines. So we're approaching a national speed limit road now. So I'd say that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And I think the reason why I do this, what I love about the car trade, is I love saving cars. There's something exciting about, like if you go and buy a brand new car, like the obvious thing to do is go and buy a brand new car, Calv, or buy a car that's newer, done less miles, you know, maybe had one owner from new and only done 20,000 miles. That car's more likely to be perfect, or far more perfect, than the car that's had double the amount of owners and done over 80,000 miles. But that's what's exciting. That's what I love. You know, you got to understand, I, like many of you lot, I grew up skint, no money, had to make every penny work for me, had to look for everything that was the best value for money possible, and had to get the most that I could get out of every penny that I owned. And that's another thing, like I love cars that are good value for money. This isn't a large amount of money, don't get me wrong, but for the money, it's the dream. It's a dream. Look at the seats. I'm looking at that camera, look at them bloody seats. And that's what I love about the car trade. And I'm just exaggerating them downshifts because although it's stock, it just sounds so good. It feels good. It's doing everything as it should. We've just got that traffic sign assist inoperative light still on the dash there, which, you know, come to think of it, I think that was on earlier in the video. I just didn't bloody notice it. I was so wrapped up in everything else. But listen to that. We've got the pan roof open as well. Nice. And Mars behind me in the Defender, loving life. It just drives so well. Looking down at the sat nav so I know what bends are coming up. Could do with a co-driver. Sat nav didn't tell me there was a bin man ahead though. Waze probably would have done that. Waze is good, isn't it? I just never use it. I'm out of habit, or in habit of not using Waze. Thank you, mate. Let's have a little feel. The power! Listen to that! One thing you can't do is feel that power. You can probably hear a bit of sound, which I would say it sounds a little bit dampened. I was almost going to use the word underwhelming there. It's not underwhelming, it's just a bit dampened. I suppose that's the nature of these types of cars. They have to put all these silencers, catalytic converters, resonators and all that sort of stuff to bring it up to modern regs, and as a result of that you don't get quite as much sound as you should get from that lovely V8 under the bonnet. One more feel of the power. Yeah, I'm happy. A little bit of wind noise there from the sunroof. Let's close that. Cow spec car, perfect. We are going to save this car. It's a lovely thing. So what I'm going to do now is let's get it to the body shop. I'm a dickhead. I've just done that whole section, and then right at the end I've realised there's an exhaust button here. That must have been a spec option. We didn't even go through spec. We don't need to. You can see this car's got massive spec. So if I flick down to sport, exhaust button on, that's a game changer. That has sorted the sound out. So the underwhelming, dampened words that I used earlier have just been fixed by that exhaust button. I mean, debatably you could go one step further and decat it and ruin it. I don't want to do that. I want it to be a nice car. I want to get it all nice. And then, by the way, this is a Planet Dreams car. So we're going to get it nice, get it right, and then once we're done with it, get it on Planet Dreams and one of you lucky dream catchers can win it. So, oh my God, I've just noticed there is a race mode. I've also noticed there's loads of traffic up ahead. It's a little bit annoying. But put it in race mode. On the steering wheel, of course, because this car, Calv, is a newer car, so it's got the newer steering wheel with the little digital spinny things at the bottom. And now, the exhaust button on, suspension's on as well. I'm in suspension sports mode. Listen to that, let's put it in neutral. Sounds so much better. I just thought, I still don't understand why the traction control light come on earlier. There was no need for it. Maybe it's because I was going over a speed bump. Must have been that. And it's sent the wheel speed sensor off tracks slightly. It must have been that, because I've just floored it and just hold back a little bit. Just lost my phone, but that aside, no traction control light. So I think that's all good as well. This all seems a bit too good to be true. Like, there's usually bigger problems at this point of a video on the channel, but so far with the GLC, touch wood, it seems to be a great little car. After test driving it, I got it to our body shop in Milton Keynes so they could work their magic with all the bodywork issues, and then the only thing left to do was fix those couple of little mechanical problems. Now let's talk about what we've had done to the car, because it is now finally complete. It's looking good, and the nice thing about this one is, well, one, we didn't break down this time in Mars, did we? Which is a rare thing for us. And two, it didn't need to go to VRS because it was just all minor, silly stuff. It's weird because sometimes you take a punt on these cars and you just never know how it's going to unfold. And with this car, we took the punt and it's gone really, really well. So the rear bumper trim, this one here, we ordered a new one of them from Mercedes. That's been replaced because it had like a bit of a chunk out of it. The front wing, remember it had a bit of bubbled paint there, so we dropped the car to the body shop, and the body shop were like, Cal, we're going to give this car a good going over, and they've machine polished the whole car, and they've managed to sort out the bad paint there as well. Also, whilst we were on that corner, there was a big gap on the bumper. They sorted that out as well. They ordered some new brackets. That's now fixed. The number plates around, I didn't particularly like them, but the guy at the body shop said, Cal, why don't you just paint them matte black, keep them there, they work well, they're handy. So we've painted them matte black, and we've replaced the plates for just some simple plain plates that don't have British Car Auctions written across the bottom. The car, one of the tyres had a big chunk out of it. We managed to find a part worn tyre. I think I might have ordered that when we collected the car, I can't remember, but yeah, we bought that tyre. That's now good. It was due a service, I believe, so we've serviced it. And the light on the dash, I expected this was going to be an expensive repair. We plugged the car in at BINCA, and the fault points at this camera here, which again, I thought this is going to be expensive. A new one of these direct from Mercedes is £400 plus VAT. But luckily, this is just a normal Mercedes part, not an AMG part. And Rome's managed to find one on eBay for 40 quid. It's apparently a very common problem. There's obviously an easy fix. So the new one arrived, we plugged it in, and now that light has disappeared from our car. The car is now ready to give away on Sunday, and if you win it, I say Sunday, it's not this Sunday, is it this Sunday? I don't even know. By the way, if you've not subscribed to the Planet Dreams YouTube channel yet, we're going to do a whole video where I like to do reviews. My channel, this channel started off with me reviewing cars that we've bought in as bits of stock at BINCA. So I want to go back to that, and I have gone back to that on a whole separate channel. All of the Planet Dreams cars, I've been doing reviews on them, draggy times, all that wonderful stuff. I'm going to be doing that on this car now, actually. So if you want to see that video, go check it out. Planet Dreams YouTube channel will be linked below. I'll also link Planet of Dreams website below for anyone who wants to be in a chance of winning the GLC 63S AMG for just 2p. It's an early bird special offer that will go up soon. And Car Vertical also linked below. Don't forget, use my code CCD to get 20% off.